all I did here was I was somewhat inspired by the snow in the cracks. And I thought to myself, okay, I could use those little tiny thread bead things, the real tiny ones, which are just little back stitches, to fill the cracks between a bunch of squares. And I took the simple road, which I call Skitch Sketch, which I want to talk about probably more later. But I simply drew 9 squares on a piece of linen, and I left spaces between them. And then I just found some 9 little linen scraps. Actually, some of them are silk, and they are all naturally dyed. Because I just felt, I was sort of going along with the natural material idea. And I just appliqued them down with a turned edge. Actually, a couple of them are not turned. And then I just, I put a little bit of thin cloth behind before I started to stitch the beads. And I just used 2 strands of embroidery thread, white, and started to fill in the cracks. And it was just a very slow process. It took me all day, actually, because I wasn't really trying to finish it. I was just using it to, just to make my day into some sort of going. And I thought to myself how this 9 thing is just, it's just something for me. Not that it's mine, but it's just something for me that works all the time. And I think it's because at any one point when I think about 9, it can fill my mind with millions of ideas, which gives me a feeling of doing something, even if I don't do any of them. So it kind of, it's kind of a form of circulation, I think, or exercise even when I'm sleeping or sitting still or doing something else even. And I also realized just by itself, it's enough. So it's just a nice thing to have because it's always a comfort whether I'm doing something with it or not. And I thought about that, I thought about how good that is for you. It's like a form of medicine because you can always just grab it. You can grab that visual or that idea and just hold on to it and give your day the meaning it needs. It's like a kind of food almost. So I really did like the concept, and I just loved the in-between pattern. And I have so many more ideas that were generated from this, but the first thing I thought was, it's just that 9 became just a little piece of a path, a step maybe. And in my mind I thought, it's like just a little piece of going. And I imagined it continuing. And I thought of many ways to do that. But when I went back to the picture, I thought, how interesting it would be to try to use that curve of the path and have it move through what I've already stitched, and have what I've stitched just kind of highlight that one section of the path. So when I overlaid the 2 photos, it really worked. I think in my mind I had the idea that I could line up the snow cracks in the photo with the cracks in the stitchery. And I could still do that. But there's just so many possibilities here. And I think I want to go forward with this at another time. I'm not really 100% in terms of video or any of other things right now. So I'm going to just let the idea float. And right now I'm using it as a mug rug.